Hello, beautiful. I am going to do this intro once for the rest of the signs. I already did it for Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, but I actually have a very tight schedule to get these done before April arrives. So to maximize my time, I am going to do this intro once for you, my love. So don't take it personal if you don't get a personal intro from me this month. And I am fully aware that I did not have to tell you that. But, I feel like we've got something personal going on. So I want to be transparent with you. I just figure it just makes more sense for my time to get the intro done once. And it really is for people who are new here. So if that happens to be you, we're going to get into a couple of things today, okay? First, we're going to get into your monthly forecast, and that's what to expect for the month overall, okay? But first, we're going to get a jumper from one of my oracle decks here to get a major theme of the month for you, okay? We want to see what exactly this month is highlighting for you, but I like to do this at the end because I feel like it really puts a period on the reading, it just really brings everything together. Then we're going to get into your love and career readings. Those readings are going to look like what to expect, the unexpected theme of the month, okay? So we got 3 spreads to get into: monthly forecast, love and relationships, career and finances. Then we'll read your oracle message at the end. Now remember, this is a collective reading. Receive what resonates, release what doesn't. I do make these with the intention of reading for your sun sign, but I encourage you to watch your moon and your rising as well so that you get a 360 view of what to expect this month. I definitely encourage you to comment. That really helps keep the engagement and lets YouTube know that you like this content so that it can push it out to more people. So please like, share, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that energy exchange. Now, I want to give a special thanks to my light keepers. So if you're watching this in the month of April, that means that is you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm probably going to insert something here because I saw on this other guy's channel, he did like a whole thing where he basically gave a shout out to all of his contributors. And I was like, oh, I should do that. That was so cute. It was like a really nice way of saying thank you. So if you're watching this and I've done that, thank you. If you're watching this in May and you want to be one of these people who are featured and honored, definitely join by using the link below to become a light keeper, to become a member. And as a reminder, you get 15% off readings with me, 15% off readings for me, lifetime, as long as you are a light keeper. So, I'm out of breath. So if anything I say resonates with you and you'd like to go deeper, just keep that in mind. You have additional perks and discounts with me, okay? And also, if you guys ever see me go live, because that's kind of been my thing lately, just for the sake, again, of time, I like to pre-record the forecast, but I usually will go live when it comes to rest of the month, all signs, and the new and full moon readings. I usually go live with those just because it's so much easier for uploading. You as a light keeper have special emojis that you can use. So definitely take advantage of those. I made them myself in Canva. Not that they were like super wildly like amazing graphics, but I'd love to see those used, those little pink little graphics used if you guys happen to catch me live. And I do schedule them in advance. I usually will look at my calendar and say, okay, what day am I going to go live? And so if you are wondering, when is Whitney going live? I usually probably have it scheduled under the live tab in my channel. Okay, so we're about to get into your reading, but let's go ahead and do a grounding and a reset, okay? Let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Drop those shoulders. Relax your jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Just relax. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're watching this in bed at the end of your day, if you're watching this in a shower. I watch a lot of content in the shower and people are like baffled at me. I'm that person who like will watch my favorite shows while like on the toilet. Like I'm that person. So if that's you right now, I get it. But like also I'm here with you to get grounded. Wherever you are, maybe you're in your car, be safe, okay, while you're listening to me. But just take a moment to just release any tension in your body and be present for whatever messages need to come through right now. And we just thank Spirit in advance for the divine wisdom that is going to come through. Amen. Without further ado, let's get into your reading, boo. Okay, Cancer, here we go. So I was using my Queen of the Moon Oracle for the other 3 signs. I literally recorded those 3 signs like what feels like 2 weeks ago. because I was trying to get ahead of it. I literally scheduled it in, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to get to the rest of them towards the end of the month. So it feels like so much time has passed between the first 3 that I recorded to now, because I'm like, what Oracle deck did I use? Queen of the Moon. So we're going to get your jumper. Let's go ahead and do that now. The Cancers in the collective, please. Cancers, perfect. I don't know what it is. It flipped out face down and I kind of don't want to know, so I'm going to leave it face down. Let's both be surprised. Okay, now let's go ahead and start shuffling your cards for April 2025. So just while I'm shuffling, Cancer, take a moment to think about what it is that you would like to happen this month. Maybe take a moment to get your journal. I at least need 2 minutes, to shuffle and lay out your cards. Journal about some things you want to happen this April. What do you want to see occur? What are you manifesting? There's power in writing it down, okay? The Cancers in my collective, please. We'll be looking at where you are, theme of the month, key goal to pursue, obstacle to overcome, major accomplishment, what to avoid, what to embrace, where to find support, and advice and encouragement, Cancer. Okay, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Where are all my crystals? Where are they all at? I think they're packed away still. I go through this every month. You would think by now, okay, one day all my crystals will be back where they belong. One day. Okay. Let me just have a second. Okay, Cancer. I mean, this really feels like it's piggybacking off of the reading that I gave you for the solar eclipse. And if you haven't watched that, please go back to my live and watch that. And that live was a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think it was a collective energy. I asked my girlfriend, I was like, can you watch this and let me know? Like, I feel like I was a mess, but I just don't know if it was me or if that is the collective energy because of the solar eclipse that we're leading up to. And you guys know I'm a Leo sun, Cancer moon. So when we have these big planetary shifts, I really, really feel it. Like I didn't feel the full moon as much, maybe because it was in Virgo, but this solar eclipse, I feel cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? And that live was like a testament to it. So I tried to get through best way I could. But even with that being said, I think your reading, Cancer, was really positive. Excuse me. And the outcome I remember for you being the Death card, the Rebirth card. And I think that's what's happening here. First of all, we do have the Death card here again. Death card here again. But yeah, let's just dig into it. So current self is the Two of Wands, looking towards the future, looking ahead. You're in a space where you're planning. You're ready to say, okay, you know what? We've got this solar eclipse that just happened. We've got this new beginning. Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? That's how you're popping off April, okay? Theme of the month is Ace of Swords. So as you are beginning to plan for your future, you're getting a lot of ideas coming to you. The Ace of Swords represents information, clarity, aha moments, a lot of insight, a lot of information, and also communication. Maybe you're receiving a lot of communication that you didn't have before from other people to have this flood of ideas, right? It feels like April is all about information gathering, right? Information gathering to figure out where you want to go. because you just went through this personal rebirth and transformation. Key goal to pursue is 3 of Pentacles. This would be teamwork and collaboration, working with others. A lot of times, as you can see, the 3 of Pentacles is about putting your heads together. So this would be working in tandem with other. It could be one other person. It definitely can come up in a relationship reading. We're working as a team with one other person, right? But this would be, to me, working with others. I want to understand why that's your key goal to pursue. Personally, I'm a little nosy right now. Why is the 3 of Pentacles here for Cancer for the month of April? Okay. Oh, pardon me. Emperor. Okay. The Emperor is here. Now, the Emperor represents the sign of Aries, in case you're dealing with an Aries. It also represents fatherhood, father figure energy. It represents the masculine, very dominant masculine energy. It represents leadership and decision making. Now, my question, of course, was why is this here? And our answer was the Emperor. So for me, it's a couple things happening. Either you're needing to learn how to work with a group of people before you can lead, or perhaps you don't want to lead, or you're not ready to lead. You are a cardinal sign, so you are a leader by innately. The cardinal signs are Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. The leaders of the zodiac. To me, Cancer, it really is feeling like, when I see this 3 of Pentacles with this Emperor, I more so feel like you're being groomed to lead in a certain situation or a scenario. It's not that you can't. I think that you are just like, that is where you are right now. Like, I'm watching the Wheel of Time. If you are a fantasy lover and you haven't started watching Wheel of Time, oh my God, start watching Wheel of Time. It's on Prime. It's in season 3 right now. I never read the books. I'm never going to read the books. But I love a good fantasy show. Like that is my happy place. Oh my God, I got a bottle of wine and takeout and I can binge a fantasy series. That is like, you have no idea for me the level of euphoria. True peace, true happiness, true vegging out. Like a good, like subtitles and all, like I'm in it. I have to rewind because there was a line that I missed. That kind of, you know? And then I actually did this the other night because I got to catch up on a few episodes of Wheel of Time. And then I get really into it. And then I go to YouTube and then I watch all of the people who like do the breakdown and reviews of the episodes, and like they give all the backstory of the lore that I don't know because I didn't read the books, but I'm into it because they've made video content on it. Sorry, my point of mentioning that was, in the show, these women have to train to become very powerful warriors. Let's just simplify it. I don't know if you're into fantasy or not, so I'm going to try to simplify it. And before they can become a leader, or in their world, an Aes Sedai, they have to be an apprentice first. They have to know how to work with others first. So I kind of feel like that's where you are, Cancer, for the month of April. I feel like you are being, I want to choose the right word here. Your assignment is to learn how to work really well with a group of people before you lead them. That's really what it feels like to me. It's not that you're being punished. It's not that you're being forced or to stay put. I really think this is part of your molding. This is part of your training for what is to come. Let's keep going. Now I know that's really spiritual. I know that's really deep. Sure, on another level, this would be key goal to pursue, collaborate, and work with your baby daddy. That could be the vibe here. Collaborate and work with your boss. Maybe forming a better relationship with your boss. Maybe forming a better relationship with your father, working more closely with them, working on a project with them. Or again, just an Aries in general, okay? Obstacle to overcome is the Knight of Swords. This could be an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. The Knight of Swords is also somebody who's very fast moving. They operate off logic. Sometimes they can be impulsive. Sometimes they move a little bit too quickly. They're just ready to go, ready to go. So you might be a little bit too hasty. Why do we have the, why is the Knight of Swords here for obstacle to overcome for Cancer? Six of Swords, we have a transition. We've got to move on from something or someone. What seems like quickly. Six of Swords is healing towards calmer waters. It's moving on. It's a turning point. Now, what's interesting about the Six of Swords that a lot of people like to point out is, do you need all this swords? Do you need all this shit that you're bringing with you? After all, you're trying to move on. Do you need all this? Like, it's just weighing you down. Right? It's asking you to assess what's really important here. Can we get another one? Please clarify why the Knight of Swords is here for Cancer. Seven of Pentacles, because there's something that you have been waiting for a long time, Cancer. And I think you're at a point where you're just, you know, the Seven of Pentacles, like he's waiting for he's waiting for these seeds to grow. He's like, is this ever gonna fucking happen? Oh my God, I've been here all day. You know, it's watching a pot of water boil, right? But because the obstacle is the Knight of Swords, something's not happening as quickly as you'd like it to. What is not happening quickly? Okay, did y'all see that? Okay, something in relation to work. Maybe you're not getting money as fast as you need to. Maybe you're not seeing results in something you've been investing in as quickly as you'd like to. So there's an element of patience here in trying to figure out when to throw the towel in, it feels like. Okay, which I actually think is really, really interesting here because it does connect to a couple other cards. We do have the Death card here as major accomplishment, which is endings, rebirth, and transformation. So I would love to know what we're talking about here because that could be many things. Okay, for Cancer, what is ending by the end of April? What is coming to an end? What is being transformed for Cancer by the end of April? The Queen of Cups and the Sun is here, but it kind of didn't really fall out in a very graceful way. Well, we got water sign energy present here in children, happiness, clarity with the sun. I'll leave it out, but I'm not convinced that that was the message. But sure, that's really positive for major accomplishment. I mean, you are a water sign. What is major accomplishment for Cancer by the end of? So we got Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups, options. I just heard, Spirit just gave me, it's a really old song. You see, I fantasize all the time about letting you go. I mean, maybe that's the connection here. I don't know. I don't know if there's somebody that something or someone that you want to let go. I don't care to look at that song right now. Look up those lyrics. It's kind of like an alternative kind of old song. Okay, King of Swords here again and Four of Cups. There is something that is just not giving that you need to give. For the King of Swords is Air, Sun, Energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And then the Four of Cups is just like, it's just not what you wanted it to be. It feels like, look, and Knight of Swords here again. It feels like, Cancer, you're making the decision to end something because you're realizing that more options are available to you, and you're allowing your wisdom to come into play here, and you saying, you know what, I'm not going to take what's being offered to me because I think there's something better. I'll be really surprised if that card comes out during your career and finance readings, because there's a card that says there's something better. I'll be really surprised if that card comes out, but I think that you're realizing there's something better, that there is something that can make you happy and content with the Sun here. Feels like you're not settling. It feels like you're choosing to end something, to let go, to move on, because you don't want to settle. Because again, you realize you don't have to. Your logic is coming into play here. Wait a second. If you'll give me this, I wonder what other people will give me. Like, that's the vibe. Okay, let's keep going. What to avoid, I thought was really interesting. This was next. 10 of Swords, which was crazy, because how can you, Spirit, say in one breath major accomplishment is death, but in the next avoid 10 of Swords? Because for me, these are real close. Okay, because 10 of Swords is betrayal, defeat, endings. Death card is letting go, transformation, rebirth, endings. Very similar messages here. Now, the 10 of Swords for me, even with what I just told you in this, for this particular reading, I think what you need to avoid is feeling defeated. Because I think there's a situation that is going to require you to break a bond or move on or something. And I think you might feel bad about it, or you might feel defeated, or you might have felt cornered into making this decision. But I don't think you need to look at it that way. Now, there could be also another little message here that there's something you need to not end. So let's figure out what we're talking about for the 10 of Swords. Clarify what Cancer needs to avoid. What does Cancer need to avoid ending? Bitch, and not the actual coffin card. I swear to God, Spirit play too much. Spirit play too much. Spirit too much. But what are we not ending? Okay, let's get a tarot card. What does Cancer need to avoid ending? And we may be talking about two different things here, right? There's something you need to move on from and let go of, while also needing to not end something. All right, so we've got the Moon and the Hermit. Great. So we've got Virgo energy, and we have Pisces energy, in case those signs are relevant here. Separate from the zodiac signs they represent, the Hermit represents going within, needing solitude, needing time alone to hear your inner voice. The Moon here is very similar, where you need to be introspective, you need to listen to your intuition. There's kind of like uncertainty and disillusionment with the Moon. What are we talking about, Spirit? Would you mind providing another? Okay. Mature woman involved here, perhaps. Maybe not avoid ending a situation with somebody older than you. And now I'm starting to think of all the Cancers I know. Avoid going back to something or someone that's already ended. That's coming through. Everybody's situation is going to be different, right? Now I rarely think of my dad in these readings because my dad is a Cancer. But now I'm kind of like, the wheels are turning and I'm like, oh, how is this connecting for him? I really think, Cancer, this is about avoid feeling defeated. I think this is energetic, if I'm being really honest. We've got this major accomplishment that something is ending for you, but you need to not take that as an L. You need to not take that as an L. And for my folks who don't know Ebonics, you need to not take that as a loss. What to embrace, Two of Pentacles, balance, managing your finances and priorities. So really get a handle on the purse strings. Really wouldn't be surprised if in your career and finance reading we get the prudence card or the caution card or a halt. Any one of those, maybe even money manager, pointing towards you needing to really keep an eye on where every cent is going this month. Advice and encouragement is the Tower. The Tower, while this does look ominous, I have learned over time that the Tower is actually representing your home, because really there isn't any other, besides the Four of Wands, there aren't many other cards that really represent your physical home. Maybe you could extend that to the Ten of Pentacles, perhaps. So advice and encouragement, the Tower. So something maybe in relation to your home. And then also the Tower is representative of upheaval, chaos, and sudden change. But it might not be all that. So it might not be very dramatic. Clarify, please, the Tower. Advice and encouragement for Cancer. Okay, look, you see how I be knowing? You see how I know? Family room. So advice and encouragements. If you're making a change in your living arrangement, I would see this as a positive sign that you will, do what you need to do. Clarify, please, the Tower for Cancer. Oh. See a fantasy. Clarify the Tower for Cancer, please. Okay. Now we've got a couple of cards here. Five of Cups, grief, sadness, loss. Six of Cups, looking to the past, reminiscing. And Ace of Cups, new emotions, new feelings, a new cup to be filled. So advice and encouragement. I feel like, Cancer, I keep getting the sense that you aren't wanting to let something go. You aren't wanting to have to move on from something in either relationship to your family or your home. But you really have to see this as a new opportunity for growth. I'm just trying to think of other ways this can be interpreted right now with a Six of Cups, Five of Cups, and Ace. It's all very emotional. Ace of Cups, Five of Cups, Six of Cups. Now, again, this is the position of where to find support. I just feel like it's okay. I think even allow yourself to grieve that this is happening, this sudden change to your family or your home or whatever. And allow yourself to reminisce and just like, I think you need to I think there needs to be acceptance around this. I think you need to feel the feeling so that you can have acceptance. Okay. Advice and encouragement is Nine of Pentacles, which I love to see here. So if your concern is if you will have enough money to get something done, you will. Nine of Pentacles is luxury, independence, abundance, more than enough, able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So I don't even feel like I need to clarify that. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Very interesting read here, Cancer. Let me know how this is connecting with you in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and clear this so I can reset for your love and relationships. Okay, Cancer, let's look into your love and relationships. I typically do these for people who are single and dating or in committed relationships. But if you're single, I encourage you to listen anyway. Maybe something I say will resonate with you or strike a chord with you. And I also just want to say, Cancer, that like, you know, if you are single, because I'm calling in my divine partner. Also, based on my own predictions, apparently I've got a thing happening either late May or June. So I'm just like, whatever. I'm literally like, Whitney, just focus on you right now and getting your shit together. Whoever got planned in 2 months, we'll deal with him then. It's so fun being psychic. Anyway, I say that to say it because even in my predictions for myself, I think I did a very light love reading for myself for March because I knew it wasn't a focus for me. I think I literally pulled like 3 oracle cards, 3 tarot cards, and I was just like, we'll see. So I'm just saying that to say, like, if you're not in a space right now where you're like even open to connections, that's totally fine. Let this wash over you. It might resonate, it might not. But I'm sharing that because there was like 0 action in my love life, which I'm okay with because I got other shit on my plate right now. I did connect with an ex, but mainly because his birthday's in March and we're still on good terms. So I just called him up, wished him a happy birthday, and we spoke for like an hour. He did what he always does and suggested we go out to dinner. And then I do what I always do and say, okay, well, you take the lead on that and let me know when you would like to ask me out. He's always trying to like get together on a hangout. So yeah, let's go out to dinner sometime. I'm like, sir, as much as I care for you, I'm gonna need you to really follow through on that. And until you do, I would love to get into that with you, but I'm not gonna make your video long for no reason. Maybe it'll be helpful. Let me see if I can condense it. I had a really good connection with somebody. Didn't work out. He wasn't ready for something serious. I was. But we kept in touch. And so when I spoke to him recently, I asked him about his dating life and he let me know that he was seeing somebody new. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Like, he was telling me about her and I was like, so are you thinking about something serious with her? And he was like, well, I don't know. And of course, maybe he's just saying that. But I'm just like, sir, are you about to be annoying to somebody else all over again? He was like, well, I think she wants something casual too. I'm like, so you think. Because I'm just sharing that with you, Cancer, because I'm like, if you wanted something serious, it would have been us. It would have been us. So you keep dating whoever the fuck you feel like you need to date, because this man in particular, he lacks a lot of confidence and he doesn't feel like he is where he needs to be in his life. So I think for him right now, it's more comfortable for him to date casually because he doesn't feel secure enough to be able to provide a woman with what she really needs, which is a provider. So I'm just sharing that with you, Cancer, that in case you're dealing with somebody who is keeping things casual and you're confused or hurt and you don't understand why they're not committing to you, that might be it. Okay? That they know they can't be what you want or need, and so they're stringing you along or pushing it off or whatever. I don't know. Maybe somebody needed that. So me and that guy, we're on great terms, but he's most likely never going to be what I need him to be, because if I don't inspire that within you, I'm never going to. And that has nothing to do with me and everything to do with him. You know? I feel like the right guy should be able to look at me and be like, I need to get my shit together. because I want that girl and I need to come correct. Like, you know, that's the energy that my mate needs to have. And if you look at me and say, and he's said comments like this to me before. Actually, when he saw my townhouse, he was like, he literally said this. He was like, well, I just think that maybe if we were still dealing with each other, you might not have gotten this. And I was like, that's an interesting thought, because in my mind, we probably could have got something better if we were together. So it's just, you can't heal that mindset. You know what I mean? So if you're dealing with something like that, Cancer, don't feel bad. Don't feel sad about it. You guys just might not be aligned, and that's okay. So I don't know. Maybe that story was for somebody. I hope I did a good job of sharing with not oversharing today. So let's see what comes up in your reading today. We're doing the what to expect, the unexpected theme of the month in your love life, okay? And we're going to pull some oracle cards from the romance angels. Cancer, please. Ten of Cups, wow, and Ten of Pentacles. Okay, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. I didn't mean to laugh. It was just so sudden. Heavy on the reminiscing. Okay. I don't know if I want to pull too many here. I think I want to leave it at that. And I think I want to get some jumpers to help me understand this. Now remember, guys, Mercury goes direct on April 7th, and I don't remember when Venus goes direct. April 12th. So Mercury will come out of retrograde first, April 7th, then Venus will come out of retrograde the few days later on April 12th. I feel like I just want the two. I think that's enough. Okay. All right. Let me look. So what to expect, Cancer, we have the Ten of Cups and also the Ten of Pentacles. That's reversed, though. That's why I was laughing. I was like, oh, at first I was like, oh, yay, Ten of Cups. But then I was like, oh, wait, Ten of Pentacles reversed. So Ten of Cups typically represents happy emotions, big happy family, dreams coming true. But we also have the Ten of Pentacles here, which represents legacy, wealth, and abundance. But with it being reversed, it feels like there's some sort of crack in the foundation here. Oh, you know what it is? And I never really pay attention to this, but it's because you're being uprooted. I really do think there's some, I know for sure my dad is experiencing some changes. My parents are experiencing changes in their home. And I wonder if that's translating to you as well, Cancer. With the Ten of Pentacles reversed, you're being uprooted. You're being uprooted. You're having to take the family elsewhere. But let me see how else I would interpret this. Is that a vase of flowers? It is. It feels like a send-off. Okay, wait. Bring it back to the relationships, love and relationships. I mean, this really could affect your relationships. I'm thinking of long-term couples right now. It feels like there's some sort of send-off happening. Like there's some sort of, like breaking away of like somebody going off to start their own family. You know, when somebody moves, it's, you know, imagine like somebody who's finally moving out the house, they just got married, so they're starting it almost feels like that. But I'm trying to bring it to you. If you're single and dating, this could connect in a way where like maybe you're dating somebody you really like, but perhaps they might not have enough time for you with this Ten of Pentacles. Maybe they're working a lot. Sorry, Sasha's snoring. As I pull the deck, then the Knight of Cups is on the back, of course. Clarify what to expect. We've got the Sun here again. There's something happy. There's something worth celebrating. I think you are happy, at least at the start of April. Let me clarify what to expect for Cancer in their love life. Look. Eight of Cups, Tower again, and King of Swords. I mean, yeah. This is crazy because I feel like this relates to my parents so much. Okay, Tower. Upheaval, chaos, sudden change. Eight of Cups, walking away. King of Swords. Air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I think you're expecting some sort of disconnection with an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but this feels like celebratory as well. It feels like you're happy for them. This could also manifest in another way. Like maybe you're dating somebody who's finally moving out on their own. Maybe you're finally getting a place with your person, but it's kind of bittersweet because maybe they're leaving their home in like a weird way. Like maybe they're being kicked out. I don't know. Okay. What are we talking about though, Spirit? Like I'm just, help me out. What to expect for Cancer in their love life? Heated, explosive temper, blowing off some steam, too hot to handle. Okay, so maybe some arguments might be happening. Maybe it's, okay, with the Tower here. Clarify what to expect. Okay, I got a couple cards. Fell out. Okay, get away, take a break to get clear, time apart is needed. I told you there's some sort of like separation here. There's some sort of moving out, moving on. Habits, repeat the same mistakes, hanging on for no reason, hard to give them up. Okay, I see that maybe with the Eight of Cups. But it is coming, I want to get to it. The Six of Cups is here. There is something that you're holding on to. Direction, unsure of what to do next, take steps in any direction, don't hold back. I really think, I've been watching too much of the Wheel of Time because in the show, the whole show is about how, you know, the divine plan, if you will, the karmic wheel weaves all these different paths and everybody's connected, right? And in the show, the group of people, like the main characters are it's very like similar to Game of Thrones. You know, you have your main characters together, but then eventually they all kind of get separated for their own paths and journeys. So it's like celebratory, but also painful. And I kind of feel like that's the vibe here. It's like there's a new direction, there's a new experience or separation from someone you love in your life, but also it needs to happen too this maybe a little bit of codependency, there's a little bit of maybe like high emotions. This may not necessarily be like with your romantic partner, but it could be within your relationship within your relationships that are affecting a romantic connection. I don't know. Okay, the unexpected is Judgment and Queen of Wands. Judgment here is awakening, ascension, and leveling up, answering the call. Queen of Wands is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but it's reversed. So maybe there's an unexpected helping hand. Quite literally, I never used that for this card, but okay. Maybe there's an unexpected helping hand from a fire sign who's maybe a bit removed from the situation. That's how I'm seeing this Queen of Wands reversed. Because a lot of times the Queen of Wands, she's bold, she's fierce, she's awesome. When it's reversed, she's a wallflower. I don't really think that this is a wallflower. I just think this is somebody who's not really like read in on the situation. Have you guys like watched all the political shows and like, you know how they say, read him in? I love that term. I need to start finding a way to use it more in my life. Read me in. What is the tea? Read me in. So I feel like there's somebody who's not read in. She's not read in on the tea, but she's willing to help. So I feel like, you know, Cancer, this could also be like maybe you and your person live together, but like maybe all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I gotta move, I gotta get out because we're not working out, or we need to separate, we need some time apart. Maybe that could be the vibe here. Maybe a fire sign friend helps you out. She doesn't have to be a fire sign. She could be, you know, someone else who's just spunky, vibey, you know, charismatic, who's willing to help you. Maybe even help you see yourself and help you see the real situation. See maybe how you've been held back in a way. Somebody's going to help you out. Somebody is going to help you out. Trust. Okay, theme of the month. Queen of Wands reverse, King of Wands reverse, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Again, next to King of Cups, what is this? Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio reversed. Six of Cups, reminiscing, remembering the good old days, thinking of the past. Seven of Swords, deceitfulness, lying, cheating, all that. But when it's reversed, it's like everybody's cards on the table. Sometimes it can indicate you're not being truthful with yourself. Sometimes. Five of Pentacles reversed here, coming out of need, coming out of hardship. My dog is making like all of the craziest sounds right now. Okay. With this King of Wands and King of Cups right next to each other reversed, it does feel like there's some sort of disconnect between a fire sign and a water sign. Maybe between you and another fire sign, there seems to be some disconnect. Maybe you're really missing them, or maybe there's some sort of reconnection. And maybe with the Seven of Swords, it feels, you know, it does feel like to me, Cancer, that if you are not vibing with a fire sign right now, again, because the Queen of Cups is, Queen of Wands is here, and maybe even the unexpected is that somebody reaches out, right? A fire sign unexpectedly. I feel like there might be some healing here with the Six of Cups. There might be an apology. There might be some sort of moment where like you get the truth of a situation. You're finally able to heal and move on. That is coming through for me. And that might be a little gift for you as Venus and Mercury go direct. Maybe you finally get clarity, get closure, or an apology, like I said. There seems to me, Cancer, that there's some situation that you don't want to have to grow through. And I think that's creating conflict in your relationships. But I just think you're going to have to do it. You're going to, because otherwise I think you're going to stay stagnant, Cancer. And I think this fire sign energy is trying to help you see that. But think you're being a little stubborn here. Whew. Renewed coming out. I don't know what it says yet. Renewed. I love these cards. Aren't they so cute? They're so pretty. Releasing a heavy burden, feeling sexy and alive, enduring despite hardship. Yeah. Yeah. And if, maybe it's something you and your partner are going through together. Maybe there's a fire sign or a water sign that has been difficult to deal with, that you're reconnecting with. Maybe they're your kids that you're reconnecting with, that you haven't spoken to. It finally feels like there's communication. It finally feels like there's information. It feels like you're able to, if you were being shut out previously by someone or a group of people, that is changing. A relationship, it could even be renewed. Sure. It feels like a Tyler Perry movie almost. I'm not gonna lie, like that. Your love reading kind of feels like that, where there's like a lot of family drama, but then there's also like a lot of healing at the end. It kind of feels like that. I'm not getting like a couples reading from your love and relationship reading. Does that make sense? As much as I'm trying, I'm not, it feels much more family focused, if I'm being completely honest, but family focused in a way that affects your relationship or your love life. Let me tell you about these oracle messages. We got flirt that came out first, which feels so unrelated to your reading, and religious factors. Okay, flirt says, extend your lighthearted energy to others. Sure, okay. And then religious factors, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. I don't take this card so literally, but I'll read it anyway. Because it can come up when like maybe you or your partner is more spiritually evolved than the other. It might not necessarily relate directly to religion, right? Okay, this card reveals that religion and spirituality are subtle but important factors in your love life. Perhaps you're looking for a relationship with a partner who shares your spiritual beliefs. If so, this card comes to you as guidance to seek your new partner at the church, temple, or meeting place associated with your faith. If you're currently with a partner who isn't spiritually minded or whose beliefs differ markedly from your own, you may feel dissatisfied. You may also be influenced by family traditions that expect you to marry within your own culture or religion. The romance angels are helping you address this issue, and they ask you to remain true to yourself during the process. Decide which factors you will and won't accept. My contacts are starting to go. Decide which factors you will and won't accept in your relationship and what your priorities are for your partner. For instance, it's possible that your love interest may live the spiritual principles that you find important, for example, forgiveness, charity, kindness, and the like, without having the same religious affiliation you do. The angels remind you that your partner, like everyone, is a holy child of God. Everyone is spiritual in truth because everyone is spirit. Although it's not up to you to change your partner to match your spiritual path, your affirmations, prayers, and visualizations can help have a positive influence on both of you and your relationship. Let that wash over you. Okay, I know it's a lot to consider. I want to clear this. I don't know if I have solid advice for you. I don't have solid advice for you. Cancer, I would invite you to open up. I think you're holding on to the past, and I would invite you to open up. Take that in whatever way that's resonating for you at this time in your love and relationships, because I think you're holding on. Like this solar eclipse is forcing you on a new path. And I don't exactly know where this eclipse happened for you in your birth chart, because it's going to be different for every person, but there's something, Cancer, that you are holding on to that is just not serving you in this relationship anymore. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship is dead, it's done, it's over. I just think you need to allow yourself to evolve in this relationship. That's what I'm getting here. All right, I'm going to pause, I'm going to clear, and we're going to move on to your career and finances. Okay. Here we go, Cancer. What to expect, the unexpected theme of the month for your career and finances. So we have some repeating cards that were in your relationship reading, well, throughout your other two spreads, really. So we have Five of Pentacles here again, the Judgment is here again, Knight of Swords is here again. What's interesting is that you have the Judgment right next to the World, both reversed, and the Judgment is right before the World in the Major Arcana. Okay. What do you have for Cancers? What do you have for the Cancers? Get one more or two more, sure. You know what, luck wanted to come out at first and then I put it back and it came out again, so it was meant for you. Okay. Oh gosh, Cancer. Okay, I don't know, I thought that was much lower than it is, and after the Strength card. Yeah. You know, it's all going to work out, Cancer. It's all going to work out. So what to expect? We've got the Ten of Wands and the Knight of Swords here again. Needing to do something very quickly, but I think you feel like, Cancer, there's a lot on your plate that you have to get done quickly, but you're not. It doesn't feel like you think you can, it's not about think. I just think you have more on your plate than you can manage right now to get something done. Ten of Wands is about heavy burden, responsibility. Now, I don't really see it as negative because she knew she was going to get to this point. That's why she's walking. She's like, you know, easy breezy, I got it. I always knew I was going to have to do this. But when it's reversed, she is feeling overwhelmed. She is feeling like, damn, so nobody's going to come ask if they can help with a bag or two, you know? And it's just feeling like something has to happen. So, like, it just feels like you've got to get a lot done. You got to get up this mountain fast. And I think people don't realize how much you have to carry, that you have to lug. Energetically, metaphorically, whatever. So it feels like you're against time, and it feels like you are feeling overwhelmed, okay? Now, the unexpected is the Seven of Cups and the Six of Pentacles reversed, which is interesting. So the Seven of Cups is about options, trying to figure out what's for you, what do you want. Six of Pentacles is often about giving and receiving. Now, because we have the luck card here, I actually think this is about you getting lucky unexpectedly, okay? Your luck is about to change for the better. You could get a lucky break or some financial breakthrough. Anything you do now will be very prosperous for you. I think there's some either influx of money coming in or support, or someone helping you in a way that you didn't expect. It might even be from the lottery, Lord. And I don't normally say that, but you know why I'm saying that? Because look, you know how people used to play the games and they move the cups around. It's like, it's not really a gambling game, but it's like it's a street game, which to me is why the lottery came through. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe, because it's a game of luck and chance. Now, I don't know that whatever you getting is going to be life changing, but it's going to be a little something. It's going to be a little something that you could do with. I want to come back to the other cards. Theme of the month, I think for out the majority of the month, you are feeling very financially stressed with the Five of Pentacles here. Page of Swords. If you are studying, I just kind of see this, like I don't feel like you can keep up with your studies with the Page of Swords reversed. Typically, air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, learning, astuteness, taking in information, communication. When it is reversed, a lot of things. You're not speaking up, your throat chakra is blocked, you feel timid sharing your ideas, or maybe you're keeping things close to your chest. I'm not sure if either of those are the meaning here. Judgment here reversed. Here's the card upright. Ascension, growth, awakening, leveling up. You're resisting something. The world here, a chapter has to close. Maybe you're preparing for it, maybe you're not, but there feels like resistance here. Next to the Strength reverse, I think you're really running out of gas. And that's why I think you need help, Cancer, because something in your life financially or in your career, you are about to tap out. And I think you are just like, I don't know how much I have left to do this, with the Strength card. And normally I would see the Strength card reverse as a message to be like, you can do it. Tap into the reserves, go ahead. And if that's resonating with you, great, take that message. I just don't think that's the vibe. I'm seeing like a wrestler child. Okay, that's a new one, Spirit. Because I don't follow sports. It's somebody tapping out. They're tapping out. They're like, get me out of this ring. Why is the Page of Swords here? I would like to clarify the Page of Swords. That's interesting. Can you clarify the Page of Swords for Cancer, please? Hierophant, the Fool, Eight of Swords. Hierophant is organizations, institutions, higher learning. The Fool is about new beginnings. The Eight of Swords is about negative self-talk. You might be, I think you're holding yourself back, Cancer, because something isn't coming together the way that you expected it to or wanted it to. And maybe you might even be talking yourself out of it. Okay? But I think that heavy emphasis on air sign and fire sign energy this month for you, because the King of Swords is here. Again, air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And the Ten of Pentacles, again, second time Ten of Pentacles is coming up here. It seems as though someone close to you is going to come and say, hey, I got you. Let's make this work. Let's figure it out. You're not going to be down and out the way that you feel for the majority of the month. I think somebody's helping you close this loop, if that makes sense. The King of Swords doesn't have to be an air sign, but it can be somebody who's very wise, intelligent, smart, etc. This could also be a feeling, Cancer, that you're ready for more, but I think you're holding yourself back in a way of like, no, I'm not ready for this because I needed other things to be in place first. And those things are not in place. If you want to make God laugh, make plans, babe. But I kind of do feel like you can't afford to miss this opportunity. Let's get into the rest of the oracle cards. The first one that came out actually was change. There's change for the better coming your way. Embrace it. Just because you don't see any movement, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. Sometimes to see change, you must be the change. Then Promoter came out. Excuse me. If there's a new idea or project manifesting, know it has great potential for success. Careers in the nightlife industry, events, or restaurant industry could be right for you. Use the law of attraction for money. Be the energy you want to attract. And then business. Do not be intimidated to enter the world of business. You got this. Consider executive positions, becoming a CEO, or anything in the corporate world. Elevate your awareness and think bigger if you want different results. I'm so sorry that I keep yawning through your video, y'all. I'm present, I'm here, I'm interpreting, but it also is 2:30 a.m. In my head, I was like, I'm going to do 6 recordings. I'll just stay up all night. And then I have to remember the kind of person that I am. I'm not a person that operates well off limited sleep. I'm just not. So after your reading, I will have to tuck myself in. I'm interested in this business card because it did come out with the luck card. I'm interested in, like, if you're wanting to start a business, if maybe somebody's giving you a loan unexpectedly. I do think you're getting some money. You're getting some sort of like help, some sort of assistance, some sort of generosity, so that you can make this change. But I think, again, it's all going to work out for you. I think you're really being pessimistic. I'm not to call you out, Cancer, but to call you out. I think at the top of April, you're feeling like, I don't know how I'm going to do all this. I don't have enough time. But you're going to get the help you need, and you need to really shift your thoughts to become a little bit more positive. I do sense the overwhelm, and I understand the fear, doubt, and worry, but you will actually be able to make it all work and bring it all together. I really do. Let's look at your oracle message. Creation. Okay. It's a good one. Beaver Moon. I think that's for October. I had this card at the Beaver Moon actually last year, and I didn't understand it at the time, but then, just like my annual forecast, I can kind of understand it for the most part, but then once you get to the month, you're like, okay. You can create your own destiny. Be industrious. Every creature on earth creates. You should welcome the process of creation. Save money and time. Have a reserve. The affirmation is, I am a mighty creator/creatrix. It is my birthright to create. There is a good reason for the saying, busy as a beaver, for the beaver is truly an industrious animal. Not only do they create sophisticated architectural lodges, their semi-submersible homes, but they change the course of rivers and waterways through strategic damming. They create new environments for themselves and other animals. Like the beaver, we too can create with industrious and vigor. Everyone is creative, not just those who are considered to be creative, such as artists, designers, musicians, and writers. We all can be encouraged to think more creatively, to solve problems outside of square solutions, to invent new ways, and to imaginatively break new trails. This moon is the moon of taking action. Our Northern Hemisphere ancestors at this time would be preparing for winter. They would be preserving food, preparing skins, gathering medicine, strengthening their homes if they were not nomadic, and preparing to move to a better hunting grounds if they were. Anyone who didn't work hard at this time would likely suffer great for it when winter came. The time to take action is now. So I would love for you to take a moment and pause before I explain or interpret this based on your reading. What you get out of that message, feel free to drop that in the comments below, Cancer. But for me, I am really seeing this as spirit like, hey, bitch, Lock in. Because you don't even, I think you're really stuck in the past that you're just like, I don't even want to do this anyway. I don't have any energy. I'm exhausted. And Spirit's like, that's fine. But if you do nothing, you will have nothing. Does that make sense? So imagine, I mean, if we use the example in the book of like how we used to have to move and change locations for winter, if we didn't go hunting, if we didn't gather medicines because we were depressed, we would die. We would be unprepared for the bitterness, harshness of winter. And I think that analogy is like kind of what Spirit's trying to convey to you right now, Cancer, is that you don't really have the luxury to be depressed and sad right now. And I am sympathetic because I do think you are energetically depleted, but you are, instead of being forced to tap into reserves or persevere and push through, because I don't have the 9 of Wands for you. I don't have any messages here to me that say, keep going, you got this. I am seeing messages that people are here to support you. You know, you have community. You have community. I don't think you're alone the way that you think. I don't even think that you think you're alone. It's just that you're really leaning into the emotions of it all. Like if you're kind of upset about the 10 of Wands, do people know that you have this much on your plate? You know, are you, you know, like how mad can you really be? And maybe they do know, maybe they're still not helping, and that's another problem. But I think there's more help than you realize. And sorry, my dog decided to guzzle her water. We'll wait. I don't even know if she has anything left in there. Well, she does. I think Sasha's a Cancer, by the way. I don't know her exact birthday, but I'm convinced she's a Cancer. She's very docile. She likes to be cozy. She's not rambunctious at all. She's not like a Gemini, and she's not like a Leo. I definitely think she's a Cancer. Because if she were, my friend's dog is a Gemini, crazy pants, fucking crazy pants. And if she was a Leo, I would know. I would know. I don't think she's a Leo. Anyway. How is this resonating for you, Cancer? Is this connecting? I hope so. I don't believe my tiredness is impeding my ability to interpret this right now. I think I got a pretty clear read for you. It feels like there's a lot of change that you're having to adjust to this month, okay? So don't hold yourself back and try not to get stuck on the past and lean into support. I hope that's helpful for you, Cancer. Drop some comments below. I'm going to take my notes on this now, and I look forward to reading your comments.